I told you that this is a special day for me. And sometimes you have a special day, and the people sitting next to you don't have that day, but today is that day for me. And I don't know if you can imagine what it's like to retire. But maybe some of my students have grandparents who've worked a whole life, and then they were useful and helpful, and they look back with some pride and satisfaction on trying to do some good, because that's all we are here on this planet for, is to be useful or helpful in some way. And some of you, as my students in the past, have parents who've retired because they were in the military, and they worked 20 years and they were ready to move on to the next chapter. And today is I've been a professor for 48 years, and this is my 42nd year at Carbondale. And this is the very last lectures I will ever give as a professor of philosophy, as a regular employee. I am going to give a seminar at Emory University in Atlanta in March, and at the University of London in April. And I want to tell you a little bit about my career, so that you'll understand that what I'm here to do is to thank you, because there were people who for all these years sat in your chairs, who I had a chance to be part of your education. And this is what a professor loves to do, if that's their dharma, as opposed to it's your job, if that's your nature. So here's my story. By 1976, I had already earned 3 degrees from Yale University, including a PhD in philosophy. And subsequently, I went to the University of California at Berkeley as a postdoc. And then I went back to Yale to teach for a semester. And then I had my first tenure-track job in the University of Texas. And from there, I got this really cool 3-year job at Brandeis and Harvard Universities in Massachusetts. And that changed my whole career trajectory, because I was selected to be a visiting professor at the American College of Greece. And after 8 months there, I came up with this creative idea of how to do a very interesting, unique travel study abroad program. And when I came here in the fall of 1982, these wonderful folks here encouraged me and allowed me to develop a program. And I had the supervision of 4 other professors. And we went to Greece, and we taught the Olympic Games, and we ran an Olympic race in the ancient stadium. And then we recreated the trial of Socrates in an ancient council chamber. And we made sundials on the beach. And we went on to perform an ancient play in an ancient theater with costumes and masks we make ourselves. And the university was so agreeable and so delighted that they began to finance projects that I had. And I went on to lead 67 half-month programs to Greece and to Egypt in 40 years. And Stephanie came along with us to go to Greece, and came along with us to go to Egypt, and she can tell you all about it. And the last ones I did were in May and June of 2023. But I could see it was time to move on. The university allowed me to create a conference series called Philosophical Collaborations, where a philosophy professor and a graduate student jointly researched and presented at a conference. And I thought the way to get leadership profile for SIU's graduate program was to invite our regular partners I made from Vanderbilt University and University of Memphis to our south and east, and also from our west, from Washington University and St. Louis University, and we were the host. And I organized and led the program every year for 30 years. Because I teach in the large lecture class and have these wonderful TAs to assist, I had more research time. And I have published 5 single-author research books, dozens of articles, dozens of book reviews, And this wonderful university honored me by selecting me as the outstanding teacher of the college, the outstanding scholar of the college, and the outstanding educator in the university over the years. And so when it came time to think about all this, so let me fill in one more detail. This room, before they made it disabled accessible, used to hold 303 seats. And from 1982, when we had 4,500 students coming in every year, there was not an empty seat here for 32 years in ethics and in logic, and in ethics and in logic, with 3 TAs in ethics and 3 TAs in logic and 3 TAs in ethics and 3 TAs in logic, fall and spring. And it gave me the chance to teach more than 300 courses at this university, to have a chance to supervise more than 450 teaching assistants who are the teachers of the next generations. I've had more than 500 graduate students in my graduate seminars that I taught every semester for 40 years, either in ancient philosophy or modern philosophy. And if you count the seats with 1,200 students, plus I taught for 15 years in the honors program, and my graduate students in the 67 programs to Greece and Egypt. This wonderful university created the chance for me to educate more than 40,000 students. So when it came time to think of retiring, I wanted to thank SIU. But who was I going to thank? All the people who brought me in the 1980s and promoted me through the ranks, they all had passed away or had retired. And so I'm thanking you, and I'm thanking everyone I can for the wonderful university that I love, that we've come here, that's made it possible for people like me, just a member of the team, to have a wonderful, fulfilling career. Ladies and gentlemen, students of SIU, I thank you. And would it be okay if I asked my colleague here to take a picture of me with you in the background? Would that be okay? Okay, would you